Assalamu alaikum everyone, welcome back to Exclusive Models. Hope you have a wonderful day. Today's episode is going to be based on how to cut a wrap abaya dress. This abaya dress I'm talking about, it has two fronts. And this is the first front. The second one is going to be the chiffon, and this is going for the sleeve also. So you can call it an abaya wrap dress, and you can also call it an overlap wrap abaya dress. So this first folding is going to be this. I'm using 3 yards of this fabric to cut it out. I'll be folding it into 2, then into 4 places, because we're cutting both front and back together at once. So this is after folding the 2 yards into 4, cutting both back and front together. You can see it. Then I'll be cutting it out. So the first thing I'll be doing here is to take the shoulder measurement of 7.5 inches. Then shoulder slant of 1 inch. Then I'll be using my ruler to straighten it up to this neckline. To slant it up to the... So the next thing to take here is the armhole measurement. The armhole measurement, which is going to be 8 inches. The waist measurement, 15.5 inches. You can see. Then from this area, I'll be taking the length of the dress. So the length of the dress here is going to be 57 inches. You can see this is 57 inches. So the next thing to take now is to take the bust measurement of 36 inches. That's 9.5 in 4 places is going to give us 36 inches. 9.5. Then I'll be adding an allowance of 1.5 inches to it, a seam allowance. Then the waist measurement of 32 inches, that is 8 in 4 places, is going to give us 32 inches. The seam allowance of 1.5 inches. Then I'll be connecting the lines together using my armhole cord. Like this, you can see. And to any A-line, you must know the wideness of the hip, so that by the time you cut out your A-line, it won't be tight at the hip area. So you have to know the wideness of the hip. The first thing to know that is to determine the hip point. The hip point here is 9 inches. Then the wideness of the hip is 42 inches. That's 10.5 in 4 places. It's going to give us 42 inches with the same allowance of 1.5 inches. You can see. So the next thing now is to slant it down. Then this is now the shape, you can see. Then from here I'll try to slant it down to the wideness of the folding. Then I'll try to curve it a little bit with 1 inch from here. The next thing that we need here is to take the neckline, to cut out the neckline. For the neckline here, I'll be using 2.5 inches. Then the deepness, I'll be using 2 inches for the back, then 3 inches for the front. Like this. So the first cutting is going to be the back on. You'll be cutting it together. Then you can take out the back, then cut out the front. So this is after placing it on the other fabric that is going to overlap it. You can see it now. The next thing that I make here is to trace it out by cutting. This is after cutting it out. Then I'm going to take this away from it, then open this to cut out the side of the one that is going to overlap it. So this is after cutting out the overlap part of the abaya. The next thing that we make here is to take the half cut. From the shoulder, I'll be taking half cut of 15.5 inches. So this is where the 15.5 inches is. Then I'm going to roll it out. Okay, see. So the next thing now is to slant it from the shoulder here, from the shoulder to this area. So by the time I cut it out, you're going to see it properly. Like this. You can see this is the waist measurement. And that is where we're going to start from. Then slant it all to the shoulder. So you can now see the shape now. You can see the shape. You can see how beautiful this is now. So from here now, I'm going to deduct. From here, I'll be deducting 2 inches out. I'm going to deduct it up to the waist line, like this. 2 inches. Then I'll cut it out. Then, you know, there must not be a mistake here. This is where the half cut is. So I'm just going to reduce my hand like this to this half cut. You can see. Then from here, I'm going to make a slant line. By matching it up with that line, like this. You can see now. You can see I've blended it together with it. So this is now our half cut. This is where the half cut is. You can see the line. Then you're going to notch it. You can see. So the next thing that remains here is to go and join everything together that I'm going to show you. So you can cut any sleeve of your choice, any sleeve style of your choice. You can make it of a straight sleeve. Then you put an elastic rubber around the waist, like the way it came with this particular style, but there's another type of sleeve that I'm going to add to my own. Welcome back. This is after joining all the cuttings together. You can see they will bias the neckline. Then I put a front zip, I slit it down, then I put my zip here, you can see. And this is my sleeve that I added to it. I didn't put that straight one with an elastic over. This is the type of sleeve that I added to it, you can see. And how to cut and sew this particular sleeve, I'll be putting the link under the description of this video so that you can also watch it. You can see. How do I join this? The first joining is going to be shoulder. You're going to join shoulder together by placing this on this, by placing this chiffon on the front, then you place the back on it. That means that chiffon is going to be at the middle of both back and front. Then you stitch the two shoulders. So by the time you turn it to the right side like this, you will see that this is going to fall on top of the front. You can see now. So after joining the two shoulders, the next thing to join is to join your desired sleeve style, and that is what I've done here. I joined this particular sleeve style to it. The next thing is to stitch the two sides by taking the appropriate measurement. You can see. So at this up front part, you just have to make a bias to bias the neckline here, and that is what I'm going to do. Bias it to the down part. Then you stitch the down part of the dress. After that, you add your belt to it. This belt is going to be at the inner side. You can see you put it inside, not that you're going to stitch it on top of it. You put it in, then you put it in when you're stitching your side measurement, when you're fitting it. You can see it now. And at the wrapped one here, you just have to stitch it here. Then by the time you're biasing, you bias it together so that it will be neat. Then you can now wrap it together. You can see it now. You can see the side. So when you're wrapping it, this is how it's going to be. Make sure you are putting this at the waist measurement. That waist, that is 15.5 inches. That is the area that I attached this. And at this other side too, I've done the same thing at 15.5 inches. That is the waist measurement. By the time you bias it, it's going to be neat like this. Then you tie it. You can see now. You can see how beautiful this is. So if you are watching me for the first time and in the right place to be, make sure you subscribe to my channel. And for those who have already subscribed, I really appreciate you guys for watching my video. Also on your notification bell so that whenever I upload any tutorial, you'll be notified. See you in my next tutorial. Assalamu alaikum.